Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you my September TBR.
Take a look into the mirror, following your heart, put the silence to the fear, and you deserve it, you deserve it. Rainy season's gonna go, now your seeds can grow. Imagine that, you deserve it, you deserve it now. Hey. Pick up the phone, little darling, I got a bit to say. I'm speaking from the heart, I pray it doesn't ricochet. I know you got his up, distance makes it hard enough. I hope that I can ask for you to listen, man, this part is tough. I sent a message and maybe you didn't get it yet. When you have a second, you should check it, so you won't regret it. I'm stepping out of a meeting, a big amount's where it's leading. I'll make you proud in proceedings, we'll hit the town in
My house is very noisy and loud right now, so I'm sorry for all of the sounds and noise. I'm gonna try to edit them out, but I'll do my best. We're just gonna have to roll with it. So for September, it's gonna be a very, very big month. In August, I didn't manage to read as many books as I wished because I was getting back to school, and now I'm teaching again full time. And that means I don't have as much time as I used to during my summer to read. So there's that. And there's just also a lot of things going on at the same time, but I am trying my best. I'm hopeful that this month I'll be able to read 8 books because I do have shorter books on this TBR, so that should help get that number up. So as I always do, I participate in the Buzzword Readathon, which is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. So every month we have a buzzword and you just have to read a book with that buzzword in the title. So I've been rolling over a couple of those books. For February, the buzzword was to read a book with a positive word in the title. For that one, I chose A Promised Land by Barack Obama. I have been rolling this over and over since February. I still haven't finished it yet. I don't think I'm gonna finish it in September, but I am hoping to just make some progress in it and at least finish it by the end of the year. I'm also going to be rolling over the prompt for August, which was to read a book with the word like in the title. For that one, I chose Blood Like Magic. I haven't started it yet. I've heard amazing things about it. I'm going to try my best to get to it ASAP. And the buzzword for the month of September is to read a word that has something to do with one of your senses. So for that prompt, I went with You Should See Me in a Crown. I got it on my e-reader. I've heard amazing things about this book as well a couple of years ago. So it's a YA, it's not too long. I should be able to get to it pretty quickly. And it's sapphic, if I'm not mistaken. And it's about a scholarship and trying to win the crown from prom queen thing in order to get that scholarship. It sounds really, really good and I'm excited to get to it. I usually also participate in the Choose Your Own Adventure Readathon, but since it is the Orilium Readathon this month, there is no prompt for the Choose Your Own Adventure because there's Orilium. So it's either one or the other. So I also have a wrapped TBR. So they are books that I owned that I haven't read yet and I've owned for a while for most of them. And I only wrapped up the first book of a series if there were many, so that I didn't pick up like a second book to a series I haven't started yet. So those ones I did put aside. But I started doing this last month in August and my son picked up a book for me to read and he picked up a new book for September. So this is the one he picked up. It is a smaller one, which I'm really happy because I do have so many books on this TBR. So I'm gonna open up. I think I know what it is. I'm pretty sure of what book it is. If I'm right, it's one of the latest additions to my TBR. I'm trying to keep yeah, I was right. So it is Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I've heard about this a while back, a couple of years ago, and I've heard amazing things about it. And I got it on sale from my local bookshop and I'm honestly really excited to get to it. I think it's a very emotional book, which is fitting because I did kind of guess which book this was, and you'll see in the Orilium prompts. But yeah, not too big, easy to get to, I'm guessing. I don't know much more about it. I know the second one is called Dear Justice, I think. So There's no synopsis on this book, so I'm just gonna roll with it and trust his review of it. And yeah. All right, on to the Orilium prompts. If you don't know what the Orilium Readathon is, I have the link to the original video in the description. You can go and check it out. It seems a little bit complicated to follow, but it's not that complicated. It's a dark academia readathon, and you basically choose a calling, a job that you want to learn, and you have prompts to fit that, and you have the whole month to read the books to fit the prompts and graduate your class, if that makes any sense. I do it a little bit more like soft version. I know that you can, there's guilds and you can get points and stuff like that. And I don't track that because it's just too much for me, but I'm fine with it. You do it as you prefer to do it and it's all okay. So my calling is a Dreamwalker, which was also what I was doing in April. So in April, you usually have like different prompts with classes, but in August or here in September, you have different levels in the classes to gain. So for Dreamwalker, I have 5 classes, but 8 prompts to fulfill. So you have Ordinary, Qualified, and Distinguished. And in order to get to that 3rd level of that class, you do need to read the 2 first prompts, which are Qualified and Ordinary. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. You can go and check G's videos. She explains them so much better than I do. So for Dreamwalker, the first class is to get an O in Alchemy, so Ordinary level. That prompt is to read an emotional read, so you've guessed it. I chose to go with Dear Martin because it's a short book and might as well use it to fulfill these prompts as well. Also, the blurbs on the back says gut-wrenching, so I'm guessing it's gonna be emotional. The next class, I need to get a Q in Art of Illusion. So the O prompt is to use an emoji generator and read a book that fit that emoji. So I got a car emoji, and I didn't know if I wanted to go with a traveling type of book or like a road trip, something like that. And then I went through books that I had on my radar. I don't know what's happening. My phone just stopped recording, and like I have a full battery. I have space and storage on my phone. I don't know why that happened. It's so weird. Anyways, we're gonna continue. So, Art of Illusion. Ordinary level in Art of Illusion. Car emoji. I went through the books that some books that I had on my radar and wanted to read. And I found Trail of Lightning from Rebecca Brownhorse. And that one has a car on the cover. I know it's more like a truck, but I'm still making this count. It is a car, transportation car. So I don't mind. I don't own it, unfortunately, but I will go and get it at my local bookstore. The qualified level for Art of Illusion is to read a prequel. And for that one, I decided to pick up The Angel of Khan el-Khalili from P.J. Clark. This is part of the prequels of The Master of Jinn. My first book that I read from P.J. Clark is A Dead Jinn in Cairo. And I didn't know that there was a 3rd prequel. I've also read The Haunting of Tramcar 015, which is also a prequel to A Master of Jinn. I read A Master of Jinn, loved it. P.J. Clark is one of my auto-buy author. I love his work, especially his novellas. And I didn't know that there was another prequel to A Master of Jinn. It is free, available on Tor.com. So I'm going to go and read that one for that prompt. I don't care that like the ebook is 32 pages. A book is a book. The next class is Spells and Incantations. That one I need an Ordinary level. So the prompt for Ordinary in Spells and Incantation is to read a 5-star prediction, which is not too hard given all of the books that I have on my radar that I want to read. That's an easy prompt for me. So for that one, I picked He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan. This is the second book of the duology from She Who Became the Sun, book number 1, book number 2. I'm excited to finally get to it. I loved book number 1, so I'm predicting another amazing book. Yeah, the next class is Psionics and Divination. For that one, I need a distinguished level, so I need to do all 3 of the prompts. For the ordinary level, the prompt is to read a favorite author's debut book. For that one, I'm gonna go with a reread because I'm just gonna help myself and make sure that I get to all of these prompts regardless if it's a reread or not, a novella or a book or a big book. Don't come for me. I'm gonna reread Adegin and Caro. I know. I don't care. I love this book, love this universe, love this author, and it is his debut book, and I love it. So that's what I'm gonna be reading. The qualified level for Psionics and Divination prompt is to read a book that has the same letter 4 times in the title. I had a hard time picking that prompt, choosing the book for that prompt. Because first of all, most of my unread books on my shelves are wrapped. So that doesn't help. Also, like I could see a lot of books on my shelves that would fit that prompt, like Strange the Dreamer, for example. I see right here. The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi has 5 A's. That would work. I had a couple like those. But they're either big books or books that I would want to start a dedicated vlog for because it has so many in the series and I only own the first one. So that means I have to dedicate myself into reading that series right away so I don't drag that vlog on for months and months, and I was not ready for that. I did go through my e-reader though, and I did find a book that fit that prompt, 4 A's in the title, and I went with An American Marriage, which is also 5 A's. It's been a long time since I've owned this book on my reader, and I've heard Courtney from Tangible Reads talk about it recently and say amazing things about it, and I don't remember what it's about. It's contemporary and it's about one significant other in prison, I think. I'm not sure, or jail. I'm not 100% sure, but if I remember correctly, that it's something along those lines, and it is about people of color. So yeah, I heard amazing things. I'm excited to get to it and like finally say that I've read it. And the distinguished level for Psionics and Divination prompt was to go with a tarot generator, and for that one, I got the Temperance card. I went with what I saw on the card, and there was an angel. I could have picked the Angel of Khan El Khalili for that prompt because of the angel thing. But yeah, the prequel thing was not easy to find. So I decided to go with like the background had like mountains and a big red sun. That reminded me so much of the cover for She Who Became the Sun. So it's a reread, but it's still a big book, 400 pages. That means that I have to finish all 3 prompts of Psionics and Divination before I get to the prompt of He Who Drowned the World. So there's gonna be a little bit of that. I'm excited though because I do want to do a dedicated vlog for this duology. So check out that soon-ish. Hopefully I'll be able to read both books in September and get that video out quickly. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to get back into these books. And the last class is lore, and I only need an ordinary level for that one. And that prompt is to read a book with vampires. This one, I was also not certain which one to pick because I had a couple of options. Either reread The Beautiful or read the second one to The Beautiful. But I also want to do a dedicated vlog for that series. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick that or something else. And then I went with a book that I have seen a lot lately, and that is The Serpents and Wings of Night. I do not own it, but I will be getting it to my local bookshop, which means I only need to buy 2 books, which is not too bad considering the 8 prompts and the fact that I have a lot of my TBR books wrapped up that I couldn't choose from. I feel like I've done a pretty good job with what I had on hand and not having to buy too many books. I'm happy with that. I'm excited. I don't know what this book is about. I've just seen it a lot recently and I've heard good things mostly. So I'm all in for vampire books. And that is it for the Orilium Readathon, and that's a lot. Already way too much. But yeah, and on top of that, I still have my Robin Hobb read-along thing, for which I do read 1 Robin Hobb book every month out of the 16 books from the realm of the Elderlings. I started in January, so I should now be at book number 9 out of 16. I'm behind, no surprise. I'm now on book 4. I'm 5 books behind, but it's okay. I'm on A Ship of Magic. These are very, very huge books, so there's also that. But I'm on A Ship of Magic. I'm loving it so far. It took me a little while to get used to having so many characters that you're following. Robin Hobb does have this ability to create characters that you hate so much and that are so frustrating, so annoying, and it sparks these emotions. But she does it so well. This is happening in here for some. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. I'm only at the very beginning, considering it's the first book of 3 trilogies. But yeah, it's not exactly as the Farseer trilogy like when we were following Fitz. But I'm loving it nonetheless. And I'm excited to move into it. Hopefully in my rainbow world of ponies and Care Bears. I hope to finish this book and start Madship this month, but like, yeah, I'm gonna be realistic and not be too hopeful. And finally, I also want to read 6 Crimson Cranes because I am also going to be doing a dedicated vlog to this series. It's a duology, but it also has a prequel, so there's actually 3 books. I don't own the 3rd one, which is the prequel, but I have read 6 Crimson Cranes. I won't be putting The Dragon's Promise in this TBR because there's just already too many, and this doesn't necessarily fit any prompts, this one either. So I'm gonna go with just starting the first book and start the dedicated vlog, but I don't think I'm actually going to finish this book or the duology. This is not realistic at all. So yeah, we'll see. And finally, I also want to make a little bit more progress in A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. I have not caught up on the first time on where I first left it off. So I'm just hoping to make some progress in it so that I do finish it by the end of the year. That's the main goal. If I can get like at least 5 chapters through, I would be happy with that. That's it. That's enough. There's way too many books, as usual, in this TBR. But I'm excited. Let me know if you're participating in any readathons this month. I would love to know. What are your books on your radar? Have you read any of the books I've mentioned so far? Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you soon in the next one.